Welcome, dear viewers, to a new episode of Heartbeats for Allah. Today, we'll journey into the fascinating world of Judaism, one of the oldest religions, deeply rich in traditions and practices that have been passed down for centuries. With unique customs and rituals that continue to inspire curiosity, Judaism traces its roots back to Prophet Moses, known in Arabic as Musa, peace be upon him. His people, the Israelites, are known as the children of Israel, and their practices hold deep reverence and mystery even today. Much like other world religions, Judaism has its own distinct customs. In this episode, we'll explore some of the unusual and complex rituals in Judaism that reflect a profound devotion and leave many in wonder. In Judaism, 3 prayers are prescribed each day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the evening. The morning and afternoon prayers are obligatory, while the evening prayer is considered a personal devotion. However, all practices in Judaism become binding once a person intends to follow them in their daily life. Upon committing, these practices are then regarded as mandatory, equal in status to any other religious obligation. Prayers can be performed individually, but congregational prayers are highly esteemed, as the community gathers to stand before God as the people of Israel. To form a congregation, a minimum of 10 people is needed, yet individual worship is still accepted in the absence of a congregation. The first prayer of the day, observed at dawn, is considered the most significant. It is structured into 6 sections. In the first section, the teachings and interpretations of Jewish scholars are read, while in the second, passages from the Torah and Psalms are recited. The third section is especially important, as it includes the Shema, a declaration of the oneness of God, calling upon the entire community of Israel to affirm their belief in God's unity. This is followed by prayers for the Messiah's arrival, and finally, the duties of the Israelites are repeated, with the testimony of oneness echoed once more. Interestingly, like Islam, Judaism also has a structured prayer schedule, performed both individually and in congregation. Orthodox Jews, as well as certain conservative Jewish groups, observe an additional prayer known as the Musaf on the Sabbath and other sacred days. Additionally, a 5th prayer, called Ne'ilah, is recited on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, during the holy month of Tishrei. Just as congregational prayers are emphasized in Islam, Judaism also values praying together, considering it preferable to solitary prayer. Each synagogue typically has an elevated platform from where supplications are made. In a way, this platform can be seen as similar to the call to prayer in Islam. When it is time for prayer, the rabbi sounds a shofar, a ceremonial horn, to notify nearby Jewish worshippers. It's worth noting that during the early days of Islam, some companions suggested a similar call to prayer as a way to bring Muslims together, but Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, declined, preferring instead the distinct call to prayer, the Adhan, we hear today. The birth of a child is a moment of immense joy in Jewish tradition, celebrated with prayers, blessings, and age-old customs that welcome the new life into the world. Birth rituals in Judaism carry significant meaning, as they connect families to their heritage, community, and faith. The ceremony of Brit Milah, or circumcision, is one of the oldest and most sacred customs in Judaism, conducted for male infants on the 8th day after birth. This tradition, dating back to the covenant God made with Abraham, symbolizes a lifelong commitment to the Jewish faith and is typically followed by a celebratory meal with family and friends. For girls, the Simchat Bat, or Joy of the Daughter, has gained popularity as a special ceremony welcoming a baby girl into the Jewish community. This ritual is a newer addition and varies widely in practice, often including blessings, naming, and readings from the Torah. Both ceremonies are opportunities for families to formally introduce their children to the Jewish community and to offer prayers for the child's future. The naming of a Jewish child holds a deep sense of heritage. Names are often chosen from ancestors or revered figures in Jewish history, symbolizing a connection to past generations. Parents are encouraged to give Hebrew names, reflecting the child's link to the Jewish people and heritage. The child's name is later announced in the synagogue, where the community joins in prayers for health, wisdom, and a righteous path in life. Jewish customs emphasize that every child is a gift from God, seen as carrying blessings and responsibilities. Jewish communities often support new parents through meal services and community gatherings, underscoring the importance of family bonds in the upbringing of the next generation. Each child, therefore, begins their journey surrounded by tradition, faith, and love, creating a foundation for a life connected to Jewish values and a broader community that supports them every step of the way. The coming-of-age ceremony in Judaism, known as the bar mitzvah for boys and bat mitzvah for girls, is a rite of passage that marks a young person's transition into adulthood within the Jewish faith. At the age of 13 for boys and 12 for girls, children reach the age of responsibility in Jewish law, where they are now accountable for their own actions. This transition symbolizes their readiness to take on religious duties, including participation in synagogue services, observing commandments, and engaging in community life. A bar or bat mitzvah ceremony typically involves the child reading from the Torah in the synagogue, often for the first time. This reading is followed by blessings and a sermon that reflects the values they will carry into adulthood. The preparation for this ceremony includes extensive study and guidance from a rabbi or mentor, as learning to read and understand Hebrew is essential. This period of study instills in them an understanding of Jewish teachings and an appreciation for their heritage. The celebration following the ceremony is a joyous occasion where family, friends, and community members come together to honor the child's commitment to their faith. The event is marked by traditional dances, songs, and speeches, and the newly initiated bar or bat mitzvah is often given a talit prayer shawl as a symbol of their new responsibilities. Gifts, often of religious or educational nature, are presented to the child to support their journey into adult Jewish life. The importance of the bar and bat mitzvah extends beyond the individual, as it reinforces the Jewish value of community. This milestone serves as a reminder of the supportive network of family and friends who share in the young person's spiritual journey. It also emphasizes personal growth, instilling a sense of duty, ethical behavior, and devotion that they will carry throughout their lives. Through this rite of passage, Jewish youth are empowered to participate fully in religious life, and they are celebrated for stepping into their roles as responsible, contributing members of their community. Marriage is a profoundly meaningful event in Judaism, considered not just a union between two individuals, but a spiritual bond that brings together families, faith, and community. Rooted in tradition, a Jewish wedding includes several unique customs that reflect the sacredness of marriage as a covenant blessed by God. Before the ceremony, the couple often engages in a period of reflection and prayer, focusing on the commitment they are about to make. Jewish teachings encourage couples to see marriage as a pathway to spiritual growth, companionship, and mutual respect. The wedding ceremony takes place under a chuppah, a canopy that symbolizes the couple's new home and the presence of God in their marriage. The chuppah is open on all sides, signifying hospitality and openness, with loved ones surrounding the couple as witnesses. The rabbi typically leads the ceremony, blessing the union and offering prayers for a life filled with love, harmony, and shared faith. The bride and groom recite blessings, drink from the same cup of wine, and exchange rings as symbols of their eternal commitment. A unique aspect of Jewish weddings is the signing of the ketubah, a marriage contract that outlines the responsibilities and commitments of each partner. The ketubah, often beautifully decorated, is considered a legal and sacred document that the couple treasures as a symbol of their vows and promises to one another. This contract highlights mutual respect and the ethical foundations of marriage within Jewish tradition. At the end of the ceremony, the groom traditionally breaks a glass with his foot, a custom that has multiple interpretations. It serves as a reminder of the fragility of life, the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, and the importance of commitment even through hardship. The wedding festivities that follow include traditional dances, songs, and blessings, with family and friends celebrating the couple's new beginning. Marriage in Judaism is seen as a cornerstone of community and a source of spiritual fulfillment, where love and faith guide the couple toward a life of shared purpose. In Judaism, death is seen as a natural part of the soul's journey, and it is approached with reverence, humility, and a deep sense of faith. Jewish customs around death emphasize respect for the deceased and compassion for the family and community. When a Jewish person passes away, traditional practices are followed to honor the life they led and to fulfill religious obligations that reflect Jewish beliefs about life and the afterlife. Upon death, the body is washed and prepared for burial by a group known as the Chevra Kadisha, or the Holy Society, whose members take great care in handling the body with dignity and respect. The deceased is dressed in simple white shrouds, symbolizing purity and equality before God, regardless of their status in life. Embalming and cremation are typically avoided in Judaism, as the faith emphasizes returning the body to the earth naturally, in line with the belief that humans are made from dust and to dust they shall return. Jewish funerals are often held within 24 hours of death, emphasizing the importance of burying the deceased promptly. The funeral service includes prayers, eulogies, and readings from the Psalms, and it is a time for family and friends to honor the life of the deceased, offering condolences and support to the grieving family. One unique practice in Jewish funerals is that mourners place dirt on the grave themselves, symbolizing the fulfillment of the mitzvah, or commandment, of burial. After the funeral, a period of mourning known as Shiva begins, lasting for 7 days. During Shiva, family members stay at home and receive visitors who come to offer comfort. Mourners avoid daily luxuries, instead focusing on remembrance and reflection. Additional mourning customs continue for a month and in some cases up to a year, allowing family members time to grieve and honor the deceased's memory. Jewish customs surrounding death are designed to bring peace to the soul of the deceased while providing support and solace to the grieving family, emphasizing faith in the continuity of life beyond the physical world. Fasting is also a common concept shared by nearly all world religions, each observing it in unique ways. In Judaism, 2 fasts are obligatory, with Yom Kippur being the most significant. This 25-hour fast begins at sunset and continues until nightfall the next day. During this time, eating, drinking, bathing, wearing leather shoes, applying oils or perfumes, and marital relations are all forbidden. Besides Yom Kippur, there are 4 additional fasts that extend from dawn to sunset, and other voluntary fasts may be observed at the discretion of Jewish religious leaders. Jewish brides and grooms also observe a fast on their wedding day, beginning their marriage in a state of purity and sanctity. Moreover, devout Jews often fast on Thursdays and Mondays, believing that Moses ascended Mount Sinai on a Thursday and returned 40 days later on a Monday. According to renowned Islamic scholar Syed Salman Nadvi, fasting is considered a divine obligation among Jews, with roots tracing back to Prophet Moses' 40 days and nights of fasting on Mount Sinai. Jewish tradition honors this by encouraging a similar fast, with the 40th day, Yom Kippur, as the holiest, observed on the 10th day of the 7th month, Tishrei. It is said that on this day, Moses received the 10 Commandments from God, making it a central event in Jewish history. Fasting in Judaism also serves to minimize physical activities, allowing the individual to focus entirely on spirituality and self-reflection. In addition to fasting, the Jewish festival of Shavuot is of great importance, having started as an agricultural celebration marking the end of the wheat harvest, but now celebrated much like other Jewish festivals. Homes are decorated with flowers, symbolizing nature's bounty, and the festival is observed 50 days after Passover, typically on the 6th or 7th day of Sivan. Shavuot is also known as the Feast of Weeks, celebrating the completion of the grain harvest and, spiritually, the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. This festival represents both a historical and a spiritual connection to Jewish identity. Like other religious traditions, Judaism also observes a holiday akin to Eid, called Purim. On Purim, traditional sweets known as hamantashen are prepared, shared with neighbors, relatives, and especially the poor. In a show of generosity, a specific form of charity is given to families in need, reflecting the Jewish values of empathy and compassion. Special meals are prepared, bringing families together to enjoy them. The day is filled with community activities, public readings from the Book of Esther, and in some communities, these readings are sung. Streets and marketplaces become lively, offering foods, beverages, and festivities that make Purim a joyous time for Jewish communities around the world. In Iran, Jews celebrate Purim by visiting the tomb of Queen Esther in the city of Hamadan, honoring a figure revered for her bravery and significance in Jewish history. This, dear viewers, brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you found it insightful and that it deepened your understanding of the beautiful rituals and traditions within Judaism. Let us know in the comments what you think about today's topic, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to Heartbeats for Allah.